Hello, everybody. Sorry, I'm not showing. I got my hair. I got cleaned up, so I had a little time here, and figured I would toss out a reading for you. Okay, so we are live. This is a live reading. Hopefully, it aids you on your living path, right? So if you read the title, it says Manifest Wisely Live and 2025, the year for you to choose to live, right? Not choosing what other people want for you, but you choosing how to live your life according to the pursuit of happiness that you have been enabled by not only our Constitution and Declaration of Independence and all those other things in America, but by the higher power. Okay. For some of you, that is God. For some of you, that may be a goddess. I don't know. Right. For some of you that are Christians, you understand that as well. There's some people that claim to practice Christianity that want to hate on other people, and you know exactly who you are, and you know how often you come to this channel. For some reason, you need a little bit more God in you than the rest of us, right? Learning how to live and love others. And let them pursue their right to happiness. I mean, there's people in this town that don't want me to have this channel. There's people in this town that don't want me to play music. There's people in this town that would just like me to, wrap up and fly away, right? And I would ask them why they're here. Why are they viewing this channel? You know, there's how many things on cable? Maybe they don't have cable. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe they don't have Netflix right now. So they need to come over here, right? But you know what we're doing in 2025 collective? We're releasing all of those people. Mhm. We're releasing their karmic energy because 'cause we're still gonna be doing our thing, okay? Yeah, yeah, yeah. "You must not know about me, you must not know about me," right? And they're like, "Oh, you can't do that, you can't do this." "Oh, yeah, watch me, cause you must not know about me, you must not know about me." I can sing gospel too, honey. I can. What, is it because I'm too pale for you? Guess what? I don't wanna F you anyway, right? A lot of that's what this is. You ever notice how a lot of the readers out here are female as well, right? And if you look historically in the church, right, the church likes to appoint male leaders, right? We do live in a patriarchal society, right? Oftentimes. I was raised Catholic. You can't be a priest, but you can be a nun. Well, nuns don't get to lead the service. Nuns don't get to, you know what I'm saying? Right? It's like, "Here, we have a place for you. We have a place for you over here." And the thing is, God is like, that's not exactly what I had in mind," you know? So, just because somebody wears the label of Christ doesn't mean they're walking in Christ, okay? Mhm. Yeah, okay. So, when you go and pray, you are allowed to pray, alone in your room, right? That isn't that what the Bible says? And that is where you're gonna receive those answers from, the Most High or the higher ups, however you wanna say it, you know? So, this is a spirituality channel, and part of that too is connecting the natural world. Somebody like, "Oh, that's just a coincidence. Oh, that's just a coincidence." Is it? Maybe that's God saying, "Hello, hello, I'm here sending you a sign. Maybe you need to pay attention to it." Right? Okay. So any of that harassment energy collective is being returned in 2025. Yeah. I mean, I have things documented. I have lawyers I can contact. I mean, I have a lot of stuff documented of online harassment and bullying and things that I've not directly taken to the police or I have screenshots of stuff. I report it through the apps thinking like, "Oh, isn't the app supposed to do something?" Right? Isn't that a violation sending people death threats and stuff like that? But I don't know, maybe it's time to take the next step of legal action, which again, collective, you have the right to do. Do not let these people bully you. You know, maybe you're like, look, I don't want to talk to somebody in my town. Like everybody knows, go to a different town and talk to a different lawyer. Go outside of town, and talk to a lawyer. You see these 1-800 numbers all the time on TV. Call one of them. They'll take it up for you. And then watch all the little cucarachas. Yeah, the little cucarachas will be scattering, 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 won't they? Hmm. Yeah, it's God who shines the holy light here. Yeah. Okay. So that being said, collective, um, you know, and yes, a lot of us, especially readers out here, we have experienced bullying in our lives. We have not had an easy path. We have not had a path full of support. Hmm. No matter how it may appear on the outside. And part of that is because people will see your blessings and think that that's somehow all these people out here are supporting you. But really what it is, it's God blessing you in many instances, right? Or allowing you to bless yourself, right? Because you have God-given arms, hands, legs, feet, mouth, eyes, all these things, ojos, right? That you can get up and get yourself to a little job, right? Which so many people refuse to do. And I don't care who you voted for. There's on both sides, there's slackers everywhere, right? So, don't slack on your spiritual health in 2025 just because it's not working for so and so down the street that all they do is sit on their ass all day. Well, yeah, maybe it's not going to work for them because they ain't doing nothing with it, right? Okay. There's public libraries out there with lots of knowledge and lots of topics for people to get interested in. Hmm. Besides what so and so with their hand in front of your face saying, "Stop, you can't go any further." Excuse me? You're not God. You're not even Christ, right? That's what I think a lot of Christians fail to understand, right? None of us will ever be that. So get a grip on yourselves and what you're telling other people to do and not do, especially when it comes to spirituality. Mhm. Mhm. Why did the police need to come and knock at my door? They sure didn't knock on the door of that fucker that killed all those people down in New Orleans. So who's bullying who here? Let's make it make sense in 2025. Can we? Are we there yet as a society to get our shit together? We're going to start with the white cards because it's kind of that type of energy today. Okay. If you can't tell already. But some things just need to be said, right? So, collective, especially if in 2025, maybe this is the year you're like, I wanna do, maybe you don't feel comfortable in the Bible study that a lot of churches typically do Bible study on Wednesdays, right? Maybe you're not comfortable in that Bible study. Maybe you would like to do one, but maybe you like to only do it like a men's focus group or a women's focus group or whatever it is. And maybe you don't want it to be on site at the church. You know what I mean? Like you can go and do those things. You do not have to wait for the pastor to be like, "Oh, that's okay for you to study." Yeah. No, you just open up your book and you do it. And maybe you invite over some people to your house. It's as simple as that. You don't need their permission, you know? There was a reason why only rich people could afford books back in the day, right? They wanted to control the ideas to the masses. Well, good. Look, we're in the fucking age of the internet now. Anybody can look up anything. including words besides F words, right? Who's using the thesaurus today? Okay. But I'm grown and I pay my own bills, so I can do that. Unlike a lot of people that like to talk about me around town and act like I don't pay my own bills, but I'm completely caught up on all my bills, right? Including my taxes, unlike some of our city council members. But hey, I'm the crazy one. I don't think so. Go harass somebody else. Again, go harass somebody else that's causing real problems in society. That's actually committing crimes, right? hmm Yeah. When I got my RV and parked it, which I couldn't legally do in my neighborhood, I got harassed and started to get gang stalked online on our online Facebook group by people in the neighborhood. Oh, you can't park that there. You're sleeping in your RV. You're doing this. It's like, number one, it's none of their business. They don't own my property. There's no bylaws against it. I mean, there's other people in my neighborhood that got boats and all sorts of shit parked in their yard. Like, get the fuck off my back, lady. I think she's just jealous. I got an RV and she don't. Some of it's just jealousy. Yeah, which that's part of my business as well, part of my rental business. Anyway. Some people be like, "Oh, I can't rent that out, blah, blah, blah." Well, then that's not for you, right? Go live and dream your own life, right? There's so many opportunities. So many. Yeah, I don't owe you explanations. That's what you might be telling these people. They're like, "Well, why do you wanna do that?" You're like, "Look, I don't have time to explain it right now. I'm just doing it." Maybe you're gonna take a quick little vacation. Yesterday I was talking about like, things that if you are somebody who likes to travel, maybe, 2025 is going to be the year that you plan and save for that big vacation that you've always wanted to go on. Your time to live is now, not tomorrow, not yesterday, right? Well, you don't have the money for that. How are you going to get there? Blah, 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 blah. I don't know, but I'm going to figure it out. And you don't owe them any explanations along the way. No, you don't. No, you do not. Part of what the internet has done is give people the illusion that they have influence over our lives. And, sometimes that influence is not really doing anything for us, is it? It's just a lot of yapping mouths, yapping traps, talking heads, clucking chickens, running around the barnyard, and they ain't doing nothing. They're not doing anything. That's what they sound like. That's what it comes across, even in the channeling. You ever see that Charlie Brown? Right? I'll take that in consideration next time somebody comes to my house and they're just yapping and it's like, what does this have to do with anything that I have going on over here? Nothing. Why are you even here? Nobody asked you here, you know? I'd also like to be known that I've never really had any trouble in public with the police. It's always somebody for some reason calling them on me. You know what I mean? You ever get it's like, how come if I'm such a problem out in the community, I'm not just getting arrested left? Well, how come I don't have a rap sheet a mile long, right? Or are there people that just want to intrude on your space, right? Because it doesn't fit their patriarchal idea of what a spiritualist is supposed to be. It doesn't fit their idea in the church of, well, women can't lead the Bible study and that. Oh, really? Well, why don't you talk to some Episcopalians and see how they feel about that? There's Methodist leaders of churches as well that are female. If you didn't know, right? Well, he's the head of our okay, fine, good for you. That doesn't mean it has to work for everybody else, honey. It's not how the laws are written. I want you to meet my friends. Okay. So there could be somebody who likes this kind of independent spirit that you have, and maybe they are, a kindred spirit to you, and they want you to maybe meet their friends. So this could be something even like collective if you are doing, so I use like Bible study as an example. You could be like, look, I'm gonna invite some people over. We're gonna do like a Bible study. It could be an informal type of meet and greet that way, right? Maybe you're inviting people over for a night of crafting. You know what I mean? And I'm not talking about pottery wheel stuff. I'm just talking about, maybe you're doing collaging one evening with a group. You know what I mean? Like pick a certain, you know what I mean, where and like maybe you have a bunch of magazines you can all share, and you do some crafting, and it's like an hour and a half you set aside, and that's kind of your community building, your social time, your fun time, right? So that could be a time where you meet some new friends. I've taken a class down at the I think it was through like the art center in our community, like the civic art center, whatever, but it was held like at one of the museums in town. Okay. I ran into somebody there that I actually know, and I met her husband, and it was kind of nice to meet people in outside of sometimes we're meeting people in loud environments, like if you're at a concert or a football game, everyone's yelling and shouting and screaming. You don't really have time to like kind of just sit and maybe get to know somebody in a more relaxed fashion. Okay. It's that kind of energy. All right. Again, 2025, bringing forward the kind of life that you want to live. You only have one life to live, right? YOLO, YOLO. You only have one life to live. Anybody ever watch that one? Vicky was the main character, right? Vicky was a blonde. Why am I getting all this blonde? Maybe that's why. Uh, things they went through on all these soap operas, right? Losing their memories, right? Showing up in different towns. They don't know how to get back home, right? But sometimes that happens to people, right? Especially folks that have dementia or Alzheimer's patients or something, they can all of a sudden pop up somewhere else. And it's like, how did you get here? I wish I could come out and say it. Okay. For some reason, this person is feeling a little reserved. Maybe they haven't gotten their goat yet for 2025. You know what I mean? Like, whereas collective, you are like, yes, I made these plans in 2024. I'm executing them in 2025. I have every right to do this. I'm tired of other people telling me I can't. Some of them may be wanting to say that you can't do this because they're not involved. But, collective, ask yourself, did they involve you? Were they there by your side back then supporting you? Or were they saying you can't or you shouldn't or you're so over, right? What is, one of the like teenagers be like, I'd rather die, right? Than whatever, right? Than go to another physics class. Well, I mean, but if you had really the choice, I mean, sitting through one more physics class ain't that bad, right? Trust me, you would not rather die. I'm telling you. But yeah, maybe that gives you an opportunity to say, okay, well then what would you rather be doing instead of complaining about it, right? What would you rather be doing? Like the people that have to go into the boss's office, I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Okay, well, what would you rather be doing, honey? Because that's called work, you know? And I'm sorry, what the karma that happens for some of these people is they make themselves out to be these legends in their own mind, right? And then they work themselves into these positions where they can't handle it, you know? one of my former positions. Sorry if anybody's watching, but, when you just take up time on my calendar to do your job, right? So maybe, for some of you that work in that kind of environment, 2025, you need to start blocking your time more, right? I talked about this in another, reading. Maybe you need to tell your supervisor, "Look, I can't take calls before 8 AM. I can't take calls after 6 PM. Weekends are off limits for me, that's my family time." They'll be like, "Well, you're single." It's like, "Yeah, I don't it's I visit my family the way I know how." Right? When I was on medical leave, I was told I could visit my family in town. Well, my family doesn't live in town, so I had to go and get a fucking doctor's note saying that I could travel. This is the type of greed that these people want over your lives, collective, and they're gonna sit there and call you selfish? Because last time I checked, when they were done with me, they denied my unemployment, they denied everything, although I never had a bad review at that company ever, ever, after 18 years, people. So, yeah, it is time to be a little selfish, right? Just like this, eat it. Eat a dick, right? Be a little selfish, collective, and see what happens, right? You might surprise yourself. You might start your own business, right? And a lot of times that's what they're afraid of, right? You becoming the competition. It happens very frequently. It's add it to a tale as old as time. Okay. Oh my gosh, you guys, I'm starting to get hungry. Yeah. Let's see what else we got out here that I want to pass over. I don't see where oh, here they are. I'm gonna grab some romance angels for you guys because some of that has been kind of coming through lately. And who doesn't want a little bit more love in 2025, right? Some people sit there and be like, "Oh, remember the old days, remember this and that, and how we used to get along and everything." And then the next thing they turn around, they're hollering at so and so. And it's like, well, lead by example, right? And yeah, the leader's going to get criticized. How many people criticized Beyonce's wonderful whatever that was that Thanksgiving? I mean, I watched, like, the replay of it and stuff. I thought it was awesome. It was like looked like a whole Super Bowl show, I thought it was pretty cool. Of course, there's people out there people still saying Beyonce can't sing. Well, you know what? She's got how many freaking albums out there proving everybody wrong about that? I mean, seriously, what if Beyonce listened to all these critics? "Oh, she's not It ain't stopping her. It ain't stopping her, you know? And who's the I mean, anyway, religious look at this. Religious factors. Your love life is being determined, being impacted or influenced by your religious upbringing and spiritual path. So again, the other day when I watched that documentary on Elvis and like one of the other guys in his crew was talking about, when Elvis started getting into the Eastern philosophies and other religions and stuff, and he's like, I wasn't into that. Elvis wanted to do it. He wanted to talk about that stuff. He's like, I wasn't into it, right? That didn't mean that that guy left his job working for Elvis. Are you kidding? That was probably one of the best, funnest. Can you imagine the parties and the craziness you probably experienced in that crew? Okay. You know, but what he said is the reason why Elvis was doing that is because he wanted to know why he was here, right? What his purpose truly was in life, right? And your purpose in life may not just be, repeating something that somebody else said just because in their church that's what the women or the men or the whoever do. Okay. You remember seeing that movie Yentl? She has to disguise herself as a boy so she can study the Talmud. Papa, can you hear me? Come on now. Come on now. Who's still with me here on this reading? You never seen Yentl? You never hear of it? Well, maybe it's time for you to check it out. And guess what? The Bible uses both the Old Testament and the New Testament. So if you're a Christian out there and you're like, well, I can't watch some Jewish movie. Yes, actually, you can. Because it's in your fucking Bible anyway, you dumb fuck. Yeah, your pastor ain't gonna talk to you like that, but maybe I will because you might need it, especially if you're harassing people that are just trying to live over here. Understand? And you do that in the name of religion? Huh? Like that freaking idiot down in New Orleans? All he was just some washed up bub, not getting anywhere in life, and he decided to take it out on everybody else. Then he put some stupid flag on the back of his truck, acting like it's some religious thing. No, you're just a fucking loser. How about that? How about that? And nobody wants to ever mention your name again. It's like all these little school shooters and all this stuff. Nobody ever wants to mention your name again. No, they don't. They don't. So stop acting like it's getting you somewhere because it's not. Okay. Back in my day, the kids, they just called in like the bomb threat or what. And then the kids would get the day off school. They didn't go in there shooting each other up like fucking idiots. You don't get any prizes in jail if you even make it that far, right? I mean, that's what your religion says, destroy everything in your path. This is where people get confused thinking that they are the karma. It's like, no, God will use you as karma. But you going out there and trying to enact karma on other people, you're going to learn real quick. You are going to learn so fast, I promise you. It will be crystal clear. I also thought it was very nice that Beyonce had her daughter dancing with her at that big production. I thought she did a pretty good job too. I mean, that's like, your mom's Beyonce. That's some pressure. That's some pressure, you know? Mhm. She's been shaking that jelly for a while, you know what I mean? My body too bootylicious, right? And that's another thing too, is some people can't handle the human form. Remember that guy in he was like the attorney general or something during one of the Bush presidencies and he had to cover up the statue the statue with the breasts exposed. Like really, dude? Okay. Apparently he wasn't meant to be a doctor. You, sir, were not meant to be a medical professional. Forgiving and learning as you release, exactly, releasing these karmics. As you release and heal the past, you experience more love in the present moments. Exactly. Because that's what we're focusing on, right? Maybe you're not the meditative type. Maybe you don't like sitting still and oming and whatever. Maybe you're the type that needs to hit the gym. Okay. Again, however that's working into your schedule, maybe that's, right when 6 o'clock hits, that's going to be your time. So, sorry, kids, I can't talk to you right now. Sorry, work, I'm not, it's going to have to go to voicemail. Whatever, whatever, right? Life happens, yes, but it's your life. So be happening in your life. Don't let life just happen to you, right? You get a say so, right? And again, that's what other people don't necessarily like, and you don't owe them any explanation for it because they don't own you. They do not own you. You don't own me. I'm not just one of your many toys. You don't own me. Don't say I can't go with other boys. Right? Don't tell me what to say. Don't tell me what to do. Please, when you go out with me, don't put me on display. You don't own me. Yeah, I think that's what you're going to be telling some people in 2025. They don't own you. Leslie Gore, by the way, for those of you who are not familiar, romantic feelings. Your feelings are real and worth exploring. So whoever this is, I wish I could come out and say it. So again, like maybe this is going to be one. Look at this. Release your ex. The time has come to clear your energy. That time of suffering, that time of wondering why, right? Well, look what God's already given you. God's already given you these wings to fly, right? Again, people could be like, "Well, that's selfish of you to." You ever see that people like it's like, well, what? Who was I supposed to use this gift for, right? It always starts at the source, right? So it's up to you how you want to apply it. Maybe you are somebody who has medical know-how, right? Maybe you're somebody though who would prefer instead of doctoring, maybe you would prefer to do research, right? Lab work. I've worked in a laboratory. It was interesting. That was in high school. That was Monsanto, by the way, and I'm still here. I have all my appendages, right? Big bad Monsanto. I know they've been in the news over the years, and a lot of people don't like a lot of their practices, but I'm just saying, I was literally in the lab working there with the research farm, and I'm still here. So people that want to preach to you how to live your life, the fear mongering tactics, all those things. I'm not saying don't do your own research. I'm not saying don't look something up, right? But I'm also saying some of that is to get you to what? To worry unnecessarily. Misery loves company. They want you in their little pity pond worrying with them. And you're like, no, I have like my emperor stuff to be on right now. Again, Aries. Aries has been coming through so strong the last few readings, you guys. So that may be significant for you. Also, here in the States, we had a changeover in, changing of the guard, if you will, which they did show that if you've never been to Arlington. And they did show sorry guys, I'm starting actually. I gotta put my sweatshirt back on. It's like it started out like -6 this morning or something. It says it's -5 right now. So, which if I was in my old house, there's no way. Like, but this house is like really well insulated. So whoever did build it did a good job. My old house was like one of those small best homes that it was a post World War II house that they built up really, really quickly. And they didn't actually use like 2x4s. They used like 2x3s or something, which I found out when I did a window replacement in that house because the guy was like, you realize your house is not 2x4s? I'm like, it's like, I'm just trying to get this window replaced. But it was like the big front window, so mm. Which it was nice because then I did the tri panel. So and then and they were the cranks, so you could because it was just a straight picture window before. And then when I put those open and then you could get like a nice crosswind into the house because living in town, sometimes you don't get the most breeze, but I am was one of those people. I love to have some open windows, some fresh air circulating, right? Even the last couple days, I've been, I crack the window open every now and then just to kind of get a little fresh pop of air into the building, right? Fresh air is good for you. Any medical professional will tell you that. Well, the sane ones anyway, not the ones that like to prescribe nasty drugs to people that aren't ever in their medical charts. I mean, does that? Why wouldn't you look up a patient's chart to see what they've been prescribed before just randomly prescribing something? Yeah, exactly. Medical malpractice. I have a case, I think, which it's all documented, but it's just, I have other things to do than try and sue doctors. You know what I mean? Like I said, I have a life to live. That's what I told one of the offices. I'm like, I don't have time for these games. And honestly, this doctor should be investigated for medical malpractice, like through the insurance company, because the fact that they're holding people and trying to prescribe that medicine when it's clearly detrimental to their health is just, I mean, it's a severe infraction, I feel like. But, you know, I did call the state about it. So I don't know if they'll ever follow up. Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, just somebody who pays their bills over here and their taxes, both federal and state, all paid up. Yeah. Because I don't do anything illegal. Ooh, ooh. Damn, these people are psychotic. The Hierophant. Yeah, religious factor. So, remember Martin Luther? He separated from Catholicism and made his own church, right? Um, So the Hierophant is the high priest for those that don't know. And the fact that I am talking about religion today, I feel like this is fairly significant. So yeah, and maybe it's not that you don't want to go to that church anymore. Maybe it's because, maybe like when one of my friends got married, her and her husband moved to a different town than in a different house than the one that either one of them were living in. Right. So, when they started shopping around for that kind of thing, they were in a new area. Okay. But it was still important to them, right? So, if anyone asks you, like, why are you leaving the church? Right? Some of these people, they start to get that cult like mentality. You can't leave us. Why are you leaving? Because I have my own life to live, you freaking moron, idiot. That's why. It's like the family that never sorry if y'all like Wheel of Fortune. I watch it too sometimes. I'm not saying anything. It's just, maybe that's just not your cup of tea. You know? Maybe you actually want to be on Wheel of Fortune. So maybe that's your adventure. Okay. But my point is that you were on this learning expedition, right? Just like Elvis was. Like, um, he was absorbing that knowledge. And the thing is, collective, I know a reason why a lot of people into spirituality don't like to say one religion over the other is because you find out when you do um learn about other religions, about some of the commonalities that we have, right? Such as wanting to live in a civil society where people are not bullied and harassed, right? Especially law-abiding citizens that pay their taxes, both federal and state. I'm all paid up, folks. I'm all paid up. Yeah, I know. I know. Probably bust somebody's ass real hard to hear that too, doesn't it? I'm all paid up on my mortgages too, folks. That's right. Yeah, kiss it. Kiss my ass. Again, if you would like to make a monetary donation to the channel, there is a PayPal link. If you don't have PayPal, you can do Venmo or Cash App, and it is the same at Ophelia's Band. I know it's not the same as the channel name, but that is, I didn't want to have like a bunch of different stuff. And I am also a musician, you guys, so I do have an Ophelia's Band channel out there if you would like to hear some music today created by me. Okay. But the 100% free way to support the channel is either by subscribing or just hitting the like button on the video. You can hit the like button and not subscribe. You can do that too. It is very easy. Okay. let's see what else the collective needs to know today. So, really getting this like really fierceness on your spiritual path. And this could have come from, I feel like for some of you, from an ancestor, perhaps a grandparent. Maybe you're like, oh yeah, my granny was super religious. She was always there every Wednesday and Sunday and blah, blah, blah. Right? You hear those stories about people, and it's like, and there's no shame in separating yourself from that growing up, right? It's like, okay, and then now that you are grown, it's like, how do you want to do that? You may realize that was a very important thing that she was doing, and you want to do that too in some way. Okay. Yeah. Nine of Pentacles, pre-Empress energy. So, that whoever that granny was, I bet there was a lot of people that liked her, right? Okay, so there may be some people that have perhaps misjudged you, and they hope that you can forgive them for that as you move forward, right? In your glory, right? Um, but sometimes it's like, okay, you you said that message and now it's time to move on to the next message, right? You know, you don't have to repeat if you don't want to, right? Sometimes it's the universe telling us that we need to repeat things, and sometimes it's the universe saying, "You don't really need to repeat. Do you really need to repeat this? Because right now it seems like you kind of got it figured out, right? And you're focused on your spiritual path. I mean, the fact that you're focused on anything, right? Sometimes in this society is pretty remarkable, given the daily washing machine, right, that we have to go through. Sometimes it's learning to dance with life. Okay. There's the people out there that want to sue their parents for being born. Okay, I mean, I guess you can do that, or you can be grateful that you're here. I don't know what to tell those people, right? At a certain point, you just got to accept it, right? Okay. And trust me, some of these people sitting around in their cushy, nice big houses, right? And the worst thing they have to do is take the garbage out on a cold day, like I'm gonna have to today, right? That's the worst thing you got going on. Well, I think when my grandfather was, in the German winter in World War II, I think he might have something to say about that, right? About how comfortable they were, right? So especially those people that want to comfortably bully people from the comfort of their nice warm homes. You might want to check yourself before you wreck yourself. Tidings of comfort and joy. That's correct. Was my grandfather that fought in World War II a perfect person? Certainly not. But, he did the best that he could at the time, just like a lot of us are trying now, right? So feel free to, tell anybody to get out of your face if they don't like that you're doing the best you can. And if they can do better, tell them go do better somewhere else. Go start your own channel. Go onto that Blue Sky app that everybody's whatever. I'm still on X, whatever. You know, I hear TikTok's back, I put a couple things on TikTok just in case people wanted to come over here, okay, for readings. Yeah, 2 of Swords. So it looks like you have a decision coming up, and you're definitely going to need to. It's like you're feeling like you're being asked to have blind faith in the situation, but what you're going to do is you're going to use your intuition, okay? And you're going to decide whether or not these romantic feelings are worth exploring with this person, okay? And it's like and it might turn out and that might be why you have the blindfold on now. You know what I mean? Almost kind of like some kind of, like, martial arts test. You know what I mean? "You will sit by the water with a blindfold." You know what I mean? And then he moves his sword out and, like, chops a bug in half or something. Okay. Yeah. Look at that, Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. Yeah, you got greatness on your mind, okay? Not gloom and doom and suffering and poverty and lack mindset and all that crap. All that crap. And for some of you collective, it could be ancestral crap that you in this century don't need to be carrying around for them that couldn't figure it out. Maybe you can, right? 6 of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're moving into a more balanced situation, collective. Um, you're kind of "You're out of the woods, you're out of da 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 na 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 na," right? You're out of this now. You're like, I ain't doing that again, right? You know, I've been through that dark night of the soul. I've been through that trial and tribulation. I've been through that washing machine, right? You're like, now I'm moving on to something that just makes a little bit more sense. Something that's a little bit more balanced, right? And maybe for you, it's being able to be recognized, having that voice. You know, and for some of you, it could be showing gratitude, right? To people that actually need it, right? Helping people that actually need it, you know? Some people are like, "I need help, I need help, I need" you get there and it's like, "Okay, what exactly do you need help with? Because it looks like you're able to do all this yourself." You know what I mean? Like nothing what's stopping you? Yeah, the road ahead, right? Okay, guys, I'm giving you back 12 minutes. Since we are under the hour anyway, I hope you guys do enjoy the rest of your week, whatever you have going on. Okay. Please do remember to manifest wisely. Like or subscribe. It's 100% free and the free way that more messages are going to get to you. Okay. Bye bye.